You're watching Naptown Buzz, your source for all things indie. We're here with Sarah at Gen Con at the Renegade Game Studios. First, we're going to look at Covert. Tell us a little bit about this game.
Yeah, no problem. So this is a Cold War era spy-themed game where you are trying to complete missions with your spies to try and gain points towards winning the game. The first person who completes 6 missions will end the game, and then everybody will add up how many points they got for completing those missions. So you're in charge of a team of spies that'll be moving around in Europe to different locations, and at those different locations they can collect clues and equipment and different things they need to be able to complete their missions. Every mission is a little bit different. You might need to get maybe binoculars and a camera watch and these different little pieces that you need to be able to complete it. So here's an example of a mission card there. So these are the 3 different things you need. Sometimes your spies have to be in different locations, and sometimes they just need different equipment. On your turn, you're going to be taking different actions based on the dice that you roll. So you'll roll these very beautiful, cool thematic dice, and you can choose those dice to go in different action spaces on the board. But the interesting thing is that if you want to look over here at the action spots, if a die is placed in an action spot, then any future players have to place adjacent to that die. So, for example, if I put that one there, then now any other player who wants to take that same action can only place on the 6 or the 4. So it does limit your ability to choose which actions you want to do each turn, which is cool because you can see what everyone else has rolled and sort of decide what spaces you want to take first or what things you will probably have available based on where other people have placed their dice.
This looks like it's a 4-player game, correct?
Yep, this is a 4-player game. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to play, depending on your group. It works great with 2 players as well as 3 and 4. It was really play tested a lot at 2 players, which a lot of games aren't, so that's very cool about this one.
And where can people pick this one up at other than Gen Con?
Yeah, we do have some copies available here at Gen Con at our booth, but otherwise it's coming out in September, and it'll be available anywhere in North America.
All right, now we're going to look at Dicey Goblins. Tell us a little bit about this game.
Yeah, this is a super fun push your luck game. It's very, very quick, and you are a goblin going into the dungeon where there's this huge, scary dragon. And she has these awesome eggs that you really love because you're a goblin. So you go in there and try and steal them, but all your goblin friends are also in there trying to steal the eggs. So you have to try and get as many eggs as you can without getting roasted by the dragon. So on your turn, you're going to pull out a couple of these dice from the bag, and you're going to put them over here in the to be rolled section. So that's what you're going to come up against in the future. And then you'll also take out another die and you'll put it over here in the egg section. So this is what you could be acquiring. Then once everybody sees what's out here, what's available, you're going to take your token and decide simultaneously, are you going to stay in the dungeon and try and get even more eggs, or are you going to run away to avoid being roasted? So if you want to play really quick, we can try it.
Sure.
Want to do it? All right, so got your token, and we're going to pick. So this is how many eggs are available right now, and these are the things we're going to roll. The silver is a little bit lower risk, but lower reward as well, all the way up to the red, which is very risky, but also quite rewarding. We don't want to see these rolled. So, all right, go ahead and choose. Are we running? Or are we staying? We're both staying. So now we're going to roll these 2 dice. And depending on where they land, this one is 1 point towards getting roasted. If we have 3, really bad. We lose all the eggs, dragon finds us. This is going to add a die to our future rolls and not add any eggs to this roll. So bad news, we really hope that we would get some more eggs. If one of us instead had decided to run, then that person takes the lowest egg die that is here at the time. So let's say it looked like this. If I had run away, I would have taken just that 2 eggs. I get out of there, I'm safe. You're the last goblin in the dungeon, so if you run away, you get to take 2 of these, the 2 of the lowest eggs, so you'd get a total of 6 eggs instead. So that's pretty exciting, but it's also risky because if you stay in there longer, we're going to be rolling some more dice, and you might end up with more of these towards getting roasted.
Okay.
And that's the game. Very quick and simple, very fun. This is coming out in October. We do have some available now, but it's coming out in October, goes up to 6 players, and it takes about 15 minutes to play.
All right, now we're going to take a look at Lotus.
Yeah, Lotus is another one of our very exciting new games coming out here at the convention, and then a full release in September. And this one is a beautiful Zen garden where you are placing petals on flowers, and once those flowers have completely bloomed, you pick the flower and see who controls it. Whoever picks the flower is going to get points equal to the number of petals that were added to that flower, and whoever controls the flower when it fully blooms will also get some benefits as well. So it's great because everybody gets something every turn. You're really watching the board and seeing what's happening, even if it's not your turn. On your turn, you're going to have a hand of 4 cards, and you can choose to place these cards on the board. If I wanted to do that right now, I would maybe take these 2 and place them to complete this flower, and that would be exactly one action. I can place up to 2 petals of the same color as one action, so I could do that. Or I could also take a insect guardian of my color and add it to any flower on the board. Let's say I add it to this one to put a little bit more of my control on that flower. So because I completed this flower, I would collect it, and it would be worth 5 points at the end of the game, 5 petals. But also, I happen to control, actually I have 1, 2, 3 total points towards controlling, but this other red player has 1, 2, 3, 4. So even though I pick the flower and get those 5 petal points, the red player would actually control the flower when it's picked. Because of that, they get to choose either a 5-point token at the end of the game towards winning, or they can choose an ongoing benefit that will help them out during the game. Adding more cards to your hand, being able to play more cards, or adding an insect guardian meeple that's even better than their normal ones. It counts as 2 points towards area control instead of only 1, and it's an extra one so you can play even more on the board. So it's a very simple game, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and there's a lot of player interaction. You're really paying attention to what other players are doing each turn.
And how many players is this one as well?
This goes up to 4 players, and it plays in about 20 minutes.
All right, thanks for showing us the games today. How can they find you guys online?
We're at renegadegames.com, and we would love to see you there.
Naptown Buzz is brought to you by our supporters at Patreon.